Located 5 kilometers from the urban town of Kurnagala is the division of Maspotha. Surrounded by the serene environment of Yakdesagala, life in Maspotha is remarkably linked to the proud inheritance of nutritious fields of paddy and lands of green cultivation. The breeze that blows through the urban town known as Athugalpura is able to cool the sweat of the hard lives of the rural community that is burnt by the hot sun. The people of Maspotha, mainly surrounded by an agricultural-based rural life, lack the knowledge and support to face the demands of the outside urban world for a better economy. People were not aware of being organized, having sufficient market information and business development know-how that would brighten their business and lives. Opportunities of development for small and medium-scale businesses were not known. As a result, the small and medium-scale businesses were distant from the dynamic urban business community. Swisscontact entered into Maspotha after a detailed study of the division's economic environment and potential for business development. Swisscontact, the Swiss Foundation for Technical Cooperation, is a non-profit, non-political and non-religious organization founded in 1959 by the Swiss private sector. Swisscontact implements development programs in 25 countries. Swisscontact has been implementing development programs in various parts of Sri Lanka since 1981. Programs in reducing potential for conflict in the east and programs for livelihood development in the south for tsunami affected. The goal is to contribute to the local economic development in an equitable and a sustainable manner.
Swisscontact has been founded in 1959 by people from the Swiss private sector and the universities to run development programs in different countries. In the beginning, they were focusing mainly on vocational training, later on also on business promotion, and then financial services, and lately also in the environmental field. Swisscontact, since we are founded and funded to some extent by the private sector, we are always looking for sustainable solutions. We are not here to distribute money. Our role is more to enable people to earn their own income, be it in a small business, be it in a more established, bigger business, and so on.
Swisscontact began the local economic development project in the Kurnagala district in 2005. The northwestern province is a main province, and Kurnagala is the capital city of the province and one of the main economic hubs in Sri Lanka. The Maspotha division, boarding the urban Kurnagala division, provides the ideal selection for a local economic development project for interventions into competitive sectors. Thus was the basis on selecting Maspotha division for the project initial intervention, and a project field office was established in Yantampalava.
Swisscontact ප්‍රදේශ ආර්ථික සංවර්ධන ව්‍යාපෘතියේ අපි තෝරගෙන තිබුණා
4 divisional secretariats were initially selected for the local economic development project. Maspotha was given priority as it was ideally located bordering the urban Kurnagala division. In general, moving away from an urban setting, there is a tendency of low opportunities and a less vibrant economy. In this case, Maspotha provided a perfect balance for initiating an economic development project.
තරමක් දුරට අඩු යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට ආර්ථික බාධක හෝ ගැටලු යම් ප්‍රමාණයකට අඩු මට්ටමක තියෙන කොට්ටාශයක් නිසා තමයි මාස්පොත තෝරගත්තේ.
When the project commenced, Maspotha covered 23 Grama Niladhari divisions and approximately 8,000 families. Today, an additional 10 Grama Niladhari divisions have been added, taking the total number of families to over 17,000. The obstacle faced by the marginalized business community and the self-employed was a blessing in disguise, providing the ideal opportunity for Swisscontact to facilitate new life into competitive business sectors through the hunt for better markets and technical know-how. Sectors such as dairy, cut foliage and beetle were carried in a haphazard manner with no guidance. Not having an idea of the market potential, these producers had no knowledge of increasing their production. Swisscontact's initial intervention was to facilitate in organizing the business community of the selected business sectors, resulting in the sectors gaining a collective strength for bargaining and facing challenges. Subsequently, production as well as marketing began to develop day by day. The facilitation and close follow-up provided by the project began to reap substantial benefits to small and medium entrepreneurs. However, the public sector that should cradle and support the private sector entrepreneurs was not performing as expected. Working under the least facilities and lack of understanding in procedures and processes resulted in the public officials being unable to meet the requirements of their customers.
I'm planning to obtain a loan from a rural bank, and I came to the DS office to get an income certificate. I was here yesterday and now I'm here today again, but still unable to get what I wanted. The reason that I have applied for the loan is to get goods to my shop, and each time I have been here, it's been a waste of time.
I
am a volunteer working for Samudhi activities in the village. Once, when I went to the DS office to obtain their services, fearing to ask directions from the officials, I joined the queue, hoping to meet the divisional secretary. Finally, when my turn came, I stood at the closed door, hoping that I could meet the divisional secretary in his room. When I asked a passerby, I was told that the closed room was the toilet, where the divisional secretary just left. In this instance, there was no official that I could have asked, even of the exact location of the divisional secretary's office. The office was a mess with files scattered all over and used teacups lying on the tables. I will not say that the officials are not competent. It is just that they do not have a suitable working environment, resulting in their lethargic behavior.
Contributing to the poor performance and customer care of the divisional secretariat officials was the lack of basic physical resources as well as various environmental issues. A greater unseen but strong negative impact was the attitude and low motivation. The DS office provides around 390 services to the community, from issuing birth certificates to death certificates and postmortems. It is a common occurrence that those who visit the DS office to obtain services such as pension, samurdhi, licensing and others have to waste valuable time due to the inefficiency of the services they were obliged to provide.
The psychological state of mind of our staff was low, not having a proper assigned seat. A common tendency amongst all was to look for a better office. Not having a permanent divisional secretary and accountant only added to the situation. A client coming to obtain services did not know where to go or whom to ask, and neither did we know what to tell them in relation to some of the issues.
Many of those who visit the DS office to obtain services for their business-related purposes have to loiter for a number of days. This sluggish service has resulted in the community to be indifferent towards the DS office. This situation has also contributed to the slowdown of economic development in the division. Swisscontact learnt of the unsatisfactory services at one of the workshops conducted for the business community in the area. Small and medium-scale business representatives brought forward issues that they face due to the sluggish service of the DS office. Walking into the DS office, one wonders if it is the right place. The DS office is located in an old government quarters. There are files dumped wherever space is found. There is a shortage of seating capacity. At times, an official is able to sit only when the other staff member leaves his or her seat. The surrounding environment is no better than the internal status, adding to the poor working environment. This confirms the comments made by the business community. The DS was in an extremely poor state to provide service at all.
I
was transferred from a DS office which had a multi-storied building with facilities for each section. Compared to that office, this office has very poor facilities. There are no allocated sections and assigned seats. Very much different to this office was the office that I worked. This office is an old building which was a quarters of a divisional secretary.
The divisional secretary, having taken up duties not too long ago, had mustered a few of his officials for a couple of meetings with the intention of creating an attitude change and develop the state of affairs in the office. A daunting task, unable to come up with results, it was at this moment in time that Swisscontact personnel entered the DS office. Though it created an instant flash of opportunity, the bottom line was that the divisional secretary held a negative perception towards NGOs in general.
Swisscontact ආයතනය රාජ්‍ය නොවන ජාත්‍යන්තර සංවිධානයක්. මේ සංවිධානය
Swisscontact is an international non-governmental organization. They came to Maspotha with the objective of working on economic development in the division and to help entrepreneurs. They invited me on many instances to participate in their workshops. Since there was written approval from the district secretary, I participated in these workshops. My general perception of NGOs was same as others. NGOs carry out certain activities in the villages and finally leaves the project in the lurch. Having had argumentative discussions with the Swisscontact team, I realized that they are different from the others and there would be a possibility to get their assistance to improve the public sector. I had even suggested in one of the workshops that entrepreneurship development is one of the tasks of public officials. An initiative to develop their knowledge and skills will definitely benefit the community.
Keeping the divisional secretary's perception of NGOs as it stands, Swisscontact requested for a meeting with section heads of the DS office. First clarifying Swisscontact's work in the past in Sri Lanka and its intention in local economic development for the northwestern province. The meeting focused on identifying the services provided by the DS and the barriers faced in the service delivery.
Initially, when we came into Maspotha, the perception was that we would come up with a plan and then we would try to implement our plan. But it was not the case actually. The case was that, we would let them identify the plan and then we help them in implementing that plan. So, for example, if it was a resource person, even the resource person was selected by them. Basically, what we did was we facilitated the process. Or in other words, they decided on the plan and we helped them implement their plan as facilitators.
The initial request made to Swisscontact was to provide a training on the 5S concept. Request was made by the DS staff as well as the nomination of Mr. HMPB Herath as the resource person from Sri Lanka Institute of Development Administration. To reassess the present status of the DS office, Swisscontact initiated its interventions by visiting the DS office together with the resource person, Mr. Herath. Identifying the status, Swisscontact sat together with the resource person to plan a strategic approach to address the situation. The initial focus was to facilitate on building self-awareness.
දැත්වශම අපි මූලික සැලැස්මක් සකස් කරා Swisscontact ආයතනයේ මමත් සාකච්ඡා කරලා මූලික වශයෙන් අපි දැනගන්න.
Identifying that to provide a better service, the staff should know their task and various processes. To address this, a series of awareness workshops were facilitated, covering all levels and sections. Giving priority to the subject of customer care, making them realize that their clients are rural villagers, relying on them for their needs from the public sector. The main objective was to create awareness in responsibilities and bring about a positive attitude. Secondly, to create a better working environment through the introduction of the 5S concept.
තමන් කරන්නා වූ කටයුතු මහජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් ලබා දෙන්නා වූ සේවාව මීට වඩා හොඳ මට්ටමින් ලබා දීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවය මතු කරලා ආකල්පමය වෙනසක් මුල් කරගෙන තමයි අපි මේ දවස් දෙකේ පාඨමාලාව සැලසුම් කරේ.
A series of workshops were organized, bringing together staff of all levels. One of the objectives was to improve the working environment, both internally and externally. Additional critical comments on current customer care and further improvements were discussed. Getting each staff member to reflect on his or her duties and their behaviors were addressed. The initial 2-day awareness workshops were carried out in sessions, taking the total staff of over 100 in groups of 20 to 30. The team culture was one of the learnings at these workshops. During this period, the normally low-motivated staff gradually began to make changes to their working environment, even reporting to work on holidays. A gradual transformation of the staff began. Soon a great change was visible. Motivation caused attitude changes, resulting in changes to behavior and environment by the removal of unwanted material and storage of files in an organized manner, an information desk to assist customers, a specific counter to accept payments, even a waiting area for customers built by the staff.
ඇත්තටම දැන් Swisscontact ආයතනය ඒ අනුග්‍රහයකත්වයේ මත ලංකාවේ අපිට
Swisscontact facilitated the intervention of Mr. Herath as a resource person from Sri Lanka Institute of Development Administration, which is the main institute involved in developing the productivity of the public sector. The series of workshops covered all staff from all sections and in those in the field. The workshops resulted in a positive change amongst the staff, motivated to make maximum use of the space and resources available, creating a better working environment. Resources were obtained from the community and political organizations within the division. Ownership and initiatives taken up by the staff with the close facilitation and follow-up by Swisscontact was built on the foundation of the awareness workshops.
The motivated staff developed a pragmatic action plan for 2006. The plan was focused on enhancing customer relations, reducing customer issues, office maintenance, proper filing systems, and various other tasks that will enhance the overall performance of the DS. Changes in the working environment made an impact on developing positive attitudes. The most visible change to every citizen of Maspotha was the uniform they dressed on the public day of the week.
Mr. Bandula Jayasinghe, our divisional secretary, requested Swisscontact to carry out development activities for us. This resulted in improvements in team culture and better organizing. We developed an action plan for 2006. By the end of 2006, we had achieved 100% of that action plan.
ඇත්තටම අපේ තිබුණේ මීට ඉස්සර අපිලිවෙල ක්‍රමයක්. පිළිවෙලක් තිබුණේ නැහැ.
The divisional secretary's leadership and commitment created the opportunity for all the staff to enhance their knowledge, skills and attitudes, moving from disorganized to being organized.
අපිට හැකියාව ලැබුණා හොඳ අංග සම්පූර්ණ පුහුණුවක් ලබා ගන්න.
It was not only the DS staff, but all Gramalinadaris, Samurdhi and field staff were involved in this development.
The enabling environment activities carried out for Maspotha DS was to facilitate their needs of productivity improvement. The approach is participatory and led by stakeholders, ensuring sustainability of the interventions.
This caused the Maspotha DS to be the talk of the town. The appearance and the enhancement in services to the general public and private sector became a catalyst in development.
I had lost one of my deeds and I came to the DS office to obtain a copy of this deed so that I could obtain a loan to develop my business. I received the document within 5 minutes. The office environment has improved and it is easy to locate the relevant sections. I would like to thank the divisional secretary for this significant change.
It was surprising to see the change in the DS office. I even asked my husband whether we are in the right place. We were received by a pleasant and friendly lady at the reception who inquired of our need. She immediately directed us to the responsible person who deals with the vehicle registration, which was our need. The officer in charge grabbed the application saying that we should do it fast as there would be a power cut within a few minutes. My job was done on time and truly enough, as we walked out, came in the power cut. This was a remarkable experience and I'm sure many would have the same if they visit the DS office today.
The facilitation and close follow-up of Swisscontact has made the DS set far goals for the future. They are motivated and enthusiastic with positive attitudes to be the best DS in the province. While the public sector endeavours to take a positive approach and provide timely services, the private sector initiative of production and marketing tends to take an upward trend. Even though Maspotha bordered the urban Kurnagala division, the technical knowledge of dairy farmers were limited. Swisscontact identified the weaknesses of this sector and facilitated development plans to improve production. As a result, more and more dairy farmers began to join the business.
When Swisscontact initially started working with our dairy farmers, our group was only 3. Today, it has increased to 29. Production at that time was 25 to 30 litres a day. Today, it has increased to 120 to 130 litres per day.
Swisscontact facilitated awareness and technical know-how to the scattered cut foliage sector that was not aware of the market potential, prices, demand and information.
It has been a year of Swisscontact's intervention in our cut foliage sector. In the past, we sold to customers around the area. Today, after identifying the market potential and linkages, we cater to the large-scale exporters. The intervention has also helped us being better organized as a group, which has increased to 45 members, strengthening our production as well as pricing.
The beetle growers of Maspotha were not aware that the Beetle Research Institute is situated in their own district. Knowing the market price and business potential was never the concern to the poor beetle growers. Bringing these issues to light helped these people to increase production and their economic status.
Swisscontact organized a number of awareness workshops to enhance the technical knowledge and obtain expert assistance from the Beetle Research Center in Dampalassa. Additional practical visits to help farmers to identify problems and issues encountered by other growers was part of the intervention. Today, production has increased by 100%, and so has the economic status, giving us the opportunity to lead better lives.
Swisscontact's guidance resulted in excellent service delivery by the Divisional Secretariat and improved business in the competitive sectors within a short span of time. Making a bold step, Swisscontact facilitated a collective effort, bringing together the public and private sector to develop a common vision for Maspotha division, setting the first step for a long and sustainable journey to enhance and ensure a better future for the people of Maspotha.